This was a mistake. We've made errors in judgment. There's bugs everywhere. Hello and welcome to Ketrick Builds. We're back with another episode of Satisfactory. In fact, this is episode number 10. So I'm really excited to be jumping back into Satisfactory. If you're not aware, we've also started a second game on the channel. We've been playing through Void Train, which has been a lot of fun as well. So let's jump into things. We've made quite a few enhancements here since last episode. Mostly housekeeping stuff though. So we replaced the hub, which we'd picked up at the other base, and now we've got that here. And really we're working towards starting to unlock tiers 5 and 6. And really before we can unlock anything else, we've got to get tier 5 unlocked here. And so we're going to go pick up the resources for that here as we kind of do a little bit of a base tour and show off a couple of the other things that we've done. We've added some more things to our infrastructure, and as a result, we've started having some power issues. So if we look at the power pole here, you can see that we're consuming just under the 600 that we're producing, or oftentimes over. And so really we have a total power capacity of 700 megawatts. 600 of that is always on, and that is our coal power plants that are out in the water there. And then we've got another 100 total megawatts of production, and that's really between the 2 bioreactors back at the other base and the 2 little bioreactors that are here on the back of the hub. And so essentially what we've done, since we're for the most part running right up to the line or slightly under the 600, but occasionally going over, is we've hooked up a battery here, this power storage unit. And essentially anytime we're under the 600 production, that extra power is going into this battery. And what the battery is doing is then anytime we go over the 700 capacity that we have, it'll start to drain out of this battery. Now this battery doesn't hold that much power or last very long, but where we're at right now with our power consumption, it's helping us from continuing to trip the breaker every time a few of the machines that don't run that often happen to come on. Or for example, if I run back here because I picked up some leaves or something and I drop this into this bin, it'll run through these machines and then the power trips off. So that's where we're trying out this battery. It seems to be working great for what we need right here, where we're on the edge of our power situation. The other major thing that we've done is, well, we've installed this hypertube here to get up top, but you can see we've installed a total of 8 constructors here. If I come over into the middle, you can see it a little bit better maybe. Bringing in some of the copper ingots that we'd brought over via truck to the base here. We're now piping them up here and feeding them into the constructors to make copper wire, because we need copper wire for a number of components here at this base. And so essentially we're taking 15 copper ingots in and outputting 30 copper wire. So we only really need 120 copper ingots in here, but then between the two we're putting out a total of 240 copper wire per minute now. And so we are starting to buffer here, which is good. We're building up a little bit of a backlog so that at some point we'll be able to expand our operations down here on making the more complex parts. However, at the moment what this means is that all of these assemblers that are creating our more complicated parts, like the satyrs and the reinforced iron plates, are all being properly fed the copper wire now, and we're making quite a bit of materials. I'm going to come over here. We've been cranking out these modular frames as well, so we're going to pick all those up because we are going to run over to the other base here in a few minutes, and I want to drop those off for our space elevator components. So first things first, we need to grab a few of these steel pipes so that we can get the research moving along here. We need to unlock oil today so that we're able to get things moving for the next level. And so we've got all of the materials here in our inventory to get that oil unlocked. Boom, just like that.
Milestone reached. Oil acquisition and refining unlocked.
Now, the reason that that's so important is because it's going to unlock both the oil extractor and the refinery. Refineries are necessary to make both plastics and rubber, which if we look at all of the tier 5 and 6 items, we need plastics, rubber, plastics, rubber, and even going into tier 6, we're gonna need rubber and plastics, computers, which we have to unlock with a plastics material, and then plastics and rubber. So we're really bottlenecked here until we go and find some oil. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, we just unlocked this oil processing technology, and you might be saying, but wait, where did you get those 50 motors? Well, we set up, once again, kind of a quick and dirty assembler over here where we could create motors, and we've just been dropping stacks of rotors and stators in here to kind of keep this moving so that we can get the motors that we need. We're creating quite a few of both of these, so I can grab another stack of rotors here, and then I can run over here to the other side and grab a stack of these stators, and we're gonna toss these right back into this machine and just keep this thing kind of creating the motors for us here, because we need motors to unlock a number of the technologies here coming up. And we'd like to get this automated eventually. It's just a matter of priority right now. We haven't had a lot of time to fully automate everything. We're trying to focus on continuing to keep the tech stack going. And I've got these 5 smelters set up here for turning the Cantarium ore that we're mining manually into ingots so that we can quickly get some quick wire made whenever we need it. And so you can see here that matches up with the 5 portable miners that we've got set up here. So we're just kind of running that manually on an as needed basis. We don't need any more quick wire at the moment, so we're not going to monkey around with that. We've got a lot to do today. So our first order of business is to try and resolve our power problems. So we're going to come on back down here to our power plant, taking the power lines down as it's the quickest way for us to get down here. And we're going to see what we can do to expand this operation a little bit and hopefully eke a little bit more power out of what we've got going on here. So first off, we're going to run up here to our miner and see that we are indeed on a pure coal node here. So we're putting out 240 coal per minute, and so we need that number just so that we know how many of these power plants we're going to be able to fuel here with all of this coal. So let's take a quick look here. A coal generator is going to use 15 per minute, so we've got all kinds of coal to leverage here. So we're only using a half of the coal that we have available to us right now, which is good news. It means that we've got lots of capability here to expand our operations. We just got to figure out how we want to lay this out to be able to do that a little bit better. And what I'm thinking about doing is having this line of coal go down the middle and putting another line of coal generators right over here where we currently have the water pumps, and redoing our water pumps in such a way that hopefully we can consolidate them. We've got more water pumps than we need right now, and we could probably line the water pumps up over here on the end of this platform, and then we just have one main pipeline that runs down the length of the platforms here to feed into our coal generators. Looking at the fact that we need 45 cubic meters of water per minute per generator, it means that we would need, for these 8, 360, I think, and each of these is creating 120. So we will have a capacity problem with these pipes, because these pipes are only capable of carrying 300, and so 300 isn't going to get us all the way to the end here. We're going to come up a little bit of water short. So we're going to have to think about how we set this up a little bit, and likely run 2 lines all the way down the length of this platform in order to feed all of our coal generators, and then have something up here on the end that is going to give us a little bit more capacity. So we're gonna think about that and start laying this out here as the first activity of the day today. So unfortunately, since this is our main power grid, we are gonna have to disconnect all of the power here temporarily while we move all of this stuff around. And so there's no real good way around it, so best to just get going and start pulling stuff apart here. And we're gonna actually get rid of all of these supports that we had set up so nicely. I think that I've got a better idea for how I want this to work, and it might require a little finagling, so let's just get this all prepped. I'll get some platforms laid out. I'll put the other generators in here real quick, and then we'll jump into how I think we should connect all this up. All right, so we have extended the platform here quite a bit, wide enough to be able to start building a second row of these cold generators here. And I've moved all the water pumps out here onto the back side of the platform because we don't have a lot of room left. You can see we're almost right up on top of that island over there. And so what I did here is I hooked up the existing generators with some pipes to kind of test this layout to make sure it was going to work before we started putting down all the additional cold generators. And so what I've got here is 3 different pipes. And the reason I've got 3 different pipes is because if we look at it here, the max flow rate in a pipe is 300 cubic meters per minute. And with each of these needing 45 cubic meters per minute, we were going to need a lot more than one pipe could deliver to run 16 of these generators, because the goal was to run 8 more of them down this way so that we've got 16 total to fix our power problem. And so what I've done here is I've run 3 of them down, and then I've hooked the 2 of them together here on the end. And then on the other end down here, I have hooked the top and bottom pipes together, or the top and bottom pipes together here in a similar fashion. So in theory, I think if we have any bleed over from one, it should move down into the other pipe. I'm not exactly sure how the pipes work in Satisfactory. I don't know if they have a direction or if it's just a total amount of available flow or pressure that's in the pipe. So we got that all up and running. And then if we just jump out here to the other side real quick, we had to set up a couple of biofuel reactors here, and I had disconnected the power here so that we could get this all started again. Because one of the problems with coal power is that you require power to get it up and running, in that we had to get all of these water pumps going. And so now that we've got this going, we were able to put the joints in, the pipes here in the kind of a central location. And so actually, if we look at this cold generator at the end here, it's going to be the best example where we're able to branch off of this top pipe and feed the cold generator on either side. And then we just bring the belt over here to feed the generator. So let's go ahead and slap down a few more of these generators here, and you'll be able to see it live as we go here. Hopefully I'm gonna have enough materials here to finish this out. Oh, we're coming up short on the cable. All right, that's okay. We'll come back to that here in a second. So the nice thing about this layout is I don't need a bunch more splitters. I'm gonna be able to just bring these belts right across because we're feeding all of the coal in from the main belt there. And we can get away with Mark 1 belts going into the power, or the coal generators here. And then we can do kind of the same thing here. We're gonna grab the pipes and just bring those over into their respective power generators as well. And so really what I'll be looking for after we get this all hooked up is to see how well we've done with balancing our water out here. I'm really hoping to see that these continue to be spread out like this, which means that they have sufficient water flow. Now we're gonna come up here to the front side, and I need to wire up the rest of these coal generators here real quick. And much like we've done on the other side, we're going to use some of these Mark II power poles to help us out. This one looks like it's only a Mark I, so we'll upgrade that. Give us a few more points to hook things up to. So I think I've got all of the coal generators hooked up at this point. In fact, except for the one that we haven't built yet. And so if we just take a quick look here, you can see our water's all filled up. Our coal is climbing here. And we're charging that battery that we've got back in the base now, because we've got a significant amount of available power here. You can see we're only consuming 370 or 394 out of the total production that we're making, which is 1,125. And then we've got a little bit of burst capacity available here at some point as well with our biofuel, but hopefully we won't need to use any of that. And so at this point, it looks like we're filling up the coal in all of the generators here. The ones up further here in the process are going to get filled up first, and then the ones down the chain will start to fill up as the buffers in these coal generators get full. See, this one's at 100 already, and so it's going to let all the items move past here down the line. And so that's where, you know, we've got a little bit of an inefficient setup here, but we've got plenty of coal coming into this that it's going to be able to feed all of these coal generators. So with this all set up and our power problem solved, we're going to go ahead and grab the missing materials that we need to put the last coal generator in here real quick, and then we'll head out and find us some oil. So with all of our power problems solved, let's head on down the valley here, and we're gonna go looking for some oil. Now, whenever I go on an adventure, I tend to like to bring a vehicle. It has a crafting bench, and it lets us get around a little bit faster. So we're gonna build a tractor here real quick, and we don't have a lot of biofuel on us, unfortunately. Hopefully this 16 biofuel will get us going for a little bit here at least. And I've played the game before, so I know that there's oil over here somewhere, but we're gonna just use this tractor here to head on over and see if we can locate a good supply of it. Now there should be a way to get past these cliffs here a little bit further down the valley, if memory serves, and they haven't changed the layout of the map since I played back in, probably update 2. And so we're gonna head down here a little ways. I'm not seeing a whole lot in this valley. I mean, there's some slugs and stuff that we should get at some point. Here we go. I think this is a way to cut through and get over to the water. So we're gonna cut through this and see if we can get over to the shore. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be bad. All of these things are gonna pop open, and we're gonna have bugs galore chasing us. And I don't want to go in the water with the tractor. That generally leads to bad times. And I can't scan for resources when I'm in my truck. So we've got all kinds of things going wrong at the moment. So let me get over here a little bit. We'll park right up on this sandbar, take a stop, see if we've got anything following us. It doesn't look like it. So we're gonna now scan for crude oil. And I expect we're gonna find a bit of it here. Oh, we've got some right out here in the water. Well, let's go take a look at this and see if we can identify what kind of crude oil we've got here. Oh my goodness, there's bad things everywhere. This was a mistake. We've made errors in judgment. There's bugs everywhere. Oh my goodness. Okay, did we get them all? I think we got them all. Well, that was a lot of fun. Let's head back out here now and see if we can identify the oil here. We've lost our little node here, and man, we've got a bunch of those fire-spitting bad things everywhere. Have I mentioned before how much I hate those things? Well, we've got a big one, too. Oh, this is not good. I wonder if I can hit the fireballs like you can in Minecraft. Apparently, no. Alright, let's see if we can lure one of these out into the shoreline here so we don't have to fight them all at the same time. Looks like he despawned when we got too far away. So, yeah, that's no fun. Let's jump back in our tractor and see if we can bypass these and go a little bit further down the shore. I'm pretty sure I saw that there were some more crude oil further down the shore. Maybe those will be a little bit safer for us to investigate. Although I really wanted to know at least what quality the ones right here were. At least there's a little shoreline here that we can kind of skirt around with our tractor without going into the water. Oh, doggo, I'm sorry. Alright, we've got one dead ahead here, 200 meters. Let's go check that one out. Whoa, more water. 140 meters. Is that black spot there in the water? I wonder if I can drive the tractor out there. Is this water gonna stay shallow enough to keep driving? Oh, look at... Why are there all these bad things everywhere? Oh, I can't control my tractor in the water. Oh, I'm out of fuel. Oh, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. Alright, well, I think we're going to have to take these guys out. And I don't really have that much health. So let's see what we can do here. I don't have any healing items either. We'll just have to be careful. So let's go ahead and deconstruct that as long as we're here. And charge! Okay, we got one of them. Oh no. Autosave is failing me. The lag is real. Alright, we got two of them down. We've taken a hit point worth of damage though. Our buffer is not so good. Alright, we got them. So, let's see if we can see what kind of a node this is. So this is a normal oil node. I was really hoping we'd start our oil refining off on a pure node, but beggars can't be choosers. Let's kind of take a look around here and see what else we find. We've got one right out here at 230 meters. Let's see what that one looks like here. We'll have to build some platforms here at some point so that the monsters don't respawn. I don't want to be clearing these multiple times. Alright, now we've got one of these giant ones, so that leads me to believe that maybe this is a pure node. Oh, it's also a normal node. Oh my goodness, that hurts. We can't afford to take a hit like that again. We gotta heal up a smidge here. I wonder how many hits these guys take. Okay, he's down. Whew. Stressing me out, man. Okay. So we've got this normal node there, and then some more way back over there. Where'd the one we just found go? That's this one. Man, the fog rolled in and we can't see anything. I have no idea where we're at. We're gonna run back over here to the shore for a second and see if we can reorient ourselves. So the base is back that way. Oh, that's awesome, being able to see the space elevator up there. So if we do this, I should see... the normal node that we just found there, and then this must be the other one that we just cleared this way, or that way. Man, there's so many of these nodes. I really didn't want to fight another one of these guys. Ooh, that hurt. Oh, look at all the bad things. Why is there so many bad guys? Oh, we're dead. Oh, watch out, doggo, watch out. So we've got our stuff back, but everything down here respawned while we were doing it. So now we've got more bugs than we know what to do with chasing us down. We've got those big alien spitter things are all back. And so we're just trying to survive right now. And I did happen to run through the middle here though and verify that the 2 oil nodes that we see here are indeed pure oil nodes. So we're gonna definitely want to get out here and grab those. And so what I'm going to do to hopefully try and help us out along that is we're gonna build some 2-meter platforms here. I'm gonna line this up pointing straight east, because I love when my platforms run north, south, east, west. It makes orienting everything just a little bit easier. And I guess actually if I were to hold control down... Yeah, there's no grid snap. All right, I think we've got it. I think we've got these in the appropriate spots. So I'm going to just use the platforms here to run my way out. Come on, doggo, get out of the way. Get out of the way. And my understanding is that those creatures should not respawn after I build some kind of a structure. Maybe I have to build an actual building, not just a foundation. I'm not sure, but we are going to get to that here in a moment or two. But in the immediate future, I'm just trying to do something to hopefully keep these guys from respawning, and also hopefully not die again. We can only take one more hit like that and we're gonna be toast. At least these guys are only spitting fire as opposed to the ones that were spitting the blue flames of death earlier. All right, I think that guy's toast. We got a few more of the little ones here and I think one more of the big ones. So, whoa. I love having the Blade Runners on, but sometimes it really jumps, and that's not always a bad thing, but if you're not ready for it, you go flying. So I've got 2 hit points left and a bunch of these guys left to take out. I'm gonna pick this stuff up as long as we're here. I'm sure I can find a use for it back at the MAM. And I've got one of these little spitter guys coming. I'm hoping to pull him away from the larger one. I don't want to have to fight them both at the same time. If I can kind of circle around this guy, take him out, and then we're going to bring these platforms out here a bit more as well. Hopefully this is going to do the trick. And I should be able to set up an oil refinery on top of these platforms here because they're very close to the oil. And so I'm just gonna kind of cover this area in it, knowing that there's an oil slick underneath there. And I'm gonna grab these little bits. Hopefully that guy will take his shot. Oh, this is the big mean one. All right, let's see if I can take him out. Oh, big mean guy. Oh, he hit me. Oh, he hit me again. All right, we're gonna try and jump over him when he does that. Do the attack from above move. Ouch. I got him. All right, folks. Here is hoping we don't have to do that again. So let me just run over to this one and see if this is a pure as well. Yes, so we've got 2 pure crude oil resource nodes here. And that is awesome. That is exactly what we were hoping for. And then as you can see, we're going to be able to put this oil extractor down right here. In fact, I'm going to just slap that down so we don't forget where it is. We are going to have to figure out how to get power out here at some point. So that's another thing to worry about. But for right now, what I want to do is just bring these foundations out here to the other oil slick, because I like when my factory chunks are connected to each other. And so if we just bring this out here, I'll be able to build platforms over the other oil patch here, and then figure out where I want the actual base to be, because I think we're gonna end up doing a little bit of the processing for oil right here on site. I don't see any reason to pipe the raw material all the way back to the base. I think we're gonna be able to build some refineries out here and have a little oil base and keep it all pretty self-contained. So just like that, we've got 2 oil refineries here, and probably just use this area right here in the middle of them to build out our refineries at some point here. So let's take a look at these oil extractors and see what we're gonna get. We're gonna get a whopping 240 cubic meters of crude oil here coming out per minute, which is awesome. For a paltry 40 megawatts of power, that's not a big deal at all. And so we're going to be able to get this all hooked up. We will need individual pipes for these, though, because our current level of pipes only hold 300 per minute. And then we will need to set up these refineries. How big are refineries? Oh, they're absolutely huge. So let's see here. We'll need some space for those. And I know just the place. We're going to put them right in here. So I'm just going to come over here and widen this all out. And we're going to place down our first refinery here. Not necessarily thinking about exactly how we want to build a base. I just want to get one of these placed down so that we can see what some of the recipes look like and start thinking about how we want to lay things out. And so if you recall, we needed to build plastics and rubber here. And so each of these essentially requires crude oil, and it's going to output our plastic and some heavy oil residue, which we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with that. And similarly, rubber is crude oil and outputs the heavy oil residue and rubber as well. It looks like we're going to be able to make petroleum coke out of our heavy oil residue. Petroleum coke is apparently a less efficient coal replacement or used in aluminum refinement. So we'll probably be able to use this to fuel our vehicles in the short term is my guess. But I think that's going to be the order of the day for next time. We'll figure out how to get our refineries and the factory for our refineries all laid out here. I'm excited to have solved all of our power issues and, gone out, explored, and found a good location for oil. And it's really not that far away from our base. I mean, we can still see our space elevator over here, and it's just a little jog down the beach. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, drop a like and subscribe for more Satisfactory content. And if you're interested, we're also running a Let's Play series on Void Train on the channel as well. That's all for today. Keterk out.